not throwing away my shot. And yo, I'm just like my country, I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I'ma get a scholarship to King's College. I probably shouldn't brag, but dag, I'm amazed and astonished. The problem is I got a lot of brains but no polish. I gotta holler just to be heard with every word. I drop knowledge, I'm a diamond in the rough, a shiny piece of coal trying to reach my goal.
Hello and welcome to Revolution Radio. This is Tanya, and who else is here?
Sable and Jay and Cody.
Sable.
I did not hear any of that.
That's probably good.
What's it like working with your wife, Cody?
What's it like working with my wife?
Because she doesn't talk much. Like, we've been on this conference call for a while, and she hasn't talked at all.
Yeah, she hasn't said one word.
Yeah, I wish it was like that in real life.
How many times did she call you the N-word today?
Once, I think.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
So how do you feel when she calls you that?
About yourself?
I don't know, it makes me feel a little degraded and dirty.
Really?
I don't know.
I feel like if a person of African American descent called me the N-word, I'd be like, yeah, that's what's up.
I think it did for a little while. And yeah, now I guess I've just accepted it. I am what I am.
Now when you just hear her voice, you just go, oh no, what is she
Yeah.
You don't care what it is, what she's saying.
Yeah, pretty much. So, fun fact. This is day 3 without vaping, and I'm dying.
Not doing well, huh?
Ooh, why aren't you vaping?
Because I had a tooth pulled.
Oh, that's right. You can't do that with a hole in your mouth.
Yeah, which I think I'm going to, but I'm not going to make, like, the suction on it. I'm just going to kind of rest my lips on it and breathe.
That's what Jay says you do most of the time anyway.
It's true.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Hang on. I'm going to go get this thing. So, yeah, if you hear and then a lot of, like, screaming, you know.
That'll make for great radio.
Yeah, it will.
Same with that. Good Lord, you need to fix your door.
You know, shh.
WD-40 wouldn't kill you.
Just saying.
So, Tanya, you missed Monday due to an animal emergency. How's your animal?
That's
Still hanging in
something to talk about at a different time.
Oh,
Oof. That's an answer.
no.
Also, don't talk shit on my door.
Your door stinks.
My door's badass.
I mean,
It's the
literally,
wooden
I
kind.
think WD-40 is like $3-4 a can. And it'll last you forever.
I have some.
Then why don't you use it?
Because it makes it unique.
It literally sounds like I'm about to like see the Crypt Keeper when you open your door.
You do, it's me every morning.
It's exactly, I'm expecting that, like right after I hear that noise.
And that was pretty good.
For
That's
being
weird
someone who
that you
doesn't
can
like
do that
horror
so
films
well.
now, I watched a lot of that as a kid.
Really?
Why don't
Yeah, I
you
did
like
too.
horror films?
I'm just not a fan.
Like, do you get scared?
No, it's just okay. So I think I brought this up. Like Cody and I have talked about it. Like how they don't scare me. Like if you want to make a horror film, I think as an adult, it's like, hey, in a world where Johnny goes to the doctor and gets bad news. You know, like that's a horror film to me.
For
Like
a water bill, it's $350.
yeah, it spread to
I don't
your
know.
liver. I mean,
Here's
like
my
that.
here's my problem with horror films is they scare me sometimes, but in like a jump scare sense. And I don't like that. Like, that's so cheap. Anybody can do jump scares. I think that if you have a good horror movie, you need like like Silent Hill as a horror movie. Which, I mean, I know it is, but that kind of, that eerie aspect where you make the vibe scary instead of just like something jumping out and scaring you. Like, I hate that. It's cheesy and it's overused. It's too easy. But to make like the whole aura just feel weird, that's something. That's a good movie.
No, I agree with you, because that whole thing of that jump scare thing, it literally could be anything. Like, if probably like the funniest thing you could think of is like a fart, like that will make you laugh no matter what. But if it's like pure quiet and you're like trying to sleep and somebody somehow like set up right by you and just bent over and farted really loud in your ear, it would make you jump.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm laughing at it. It's pretty funny.
But I'm just saying, like, yeah, it's not scary. Like, The Ring. I thought The Ring was scary.
Yeah, it is.
But I don't... Like, okay, Tanya, you're a big horror film fan. I mean, when you see some of the stuff that they're making now, aren't you just like, what is the... I saw one, and I can't remember the name of it. Ma? Something like it. It's about, like, an old black lady who's like kind of friends with all these college kids, and then she turns and tries to start killing them.
Oh yeah,
that one
or whatever.
Or
the Meg.
See, and that one could be more. It's supposed to be more psychological scary because there's a lot of people out there who you'll find like older, like she was, and they're trying to become like a mother figure. And then they just go flat out crazy. I didn't find it scary.
I thought you were going to say a lot of people who are scared of old black women.
Well, have you met Cody's wife?
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. But, I mean, there's a lot of movies that people find scary that I was just like, that was stupid. Like The Nun. That one did not scare me. Like, and I had high expectations because I liked the story of it. It wasn't scary. Annabelle didn't scare me. I thought it was kind of dumb.
I liked them, but you're right. It wasn't scary. It was that cheesy jump scare shit again.
I mean, like the psychological ones kind of are scary. I still find like Silence of the Lambs because it's more of it's psychological. I'm trying to think. There was a French movie that came out that was kind of scary. But that was like 12 years ago, and I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, all I'm saying is, like, that's why I'm not a fan of horror films, is because, like, you had to go back 12 years.
Yeah.
Or you're like, I mean, that's literally like how a lot of people are like, they don't make good movies anymore. It's like, well, what have you seen? Well, I saw the new Avengers movie. I saw, The Hangover Part 16. I saw, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, because you're not watching, like, you're not, number one, you're watching crap films. Like, look, Avengers is going to be what it is. It's a superhero movie. It's not Citizen Kane. It's not, I don't know, The Green Mile. It's fucking,
Green Mile sucked.
Thor. That's what it is. Like, I don't know. That's my thing with, like, the horror films, though, is, like, I don't know. Like, ever since, like, honestly, I think, like, The Shining, like, that era, they were creepy. But it seems like they've gotten to that point of, like, relying on just the jump scare, like you were saying.
High Tension, that was the French movie I was thinking of. I agree. I do. It takes a lot, like, especially on the psychological aspect. I found... Like, okay, The Human Centipede. It was dumb.
Funny.
But the concept of it was scary. Do you know what I mean? You're lost in the German countryside and you run into some creepy guy who puts you ass to mouth. You just have to ask. Just ask.
It's a weekend for Cody.
Like, if you wanted it, just ask me to do that and I will.
You don't understand when Cody's like, hey, I need to go to the ATM. He's not talking about getting money out.
He's going to Big Wheels for some ass to mouth.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like, I definitely found, like, the evening news to be far more terrifying than a horror film. You know, hey, up next, something that you take daily could be causing kidney failure. It's like, oh, holy shit, what's that? Like, that's far more terrifying.
The men's multivitamin you suck back every day.
Because, yeah, the reality is I'm never going to be lost in Germany. I'm never going to be, like, in South Texas, you know, in a weird van that breaks down. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and see, I think those are more relatable, and it's scary that way. But the jump scares, no, that doesn't scare me. A lot of the monsters, they don't scare me. I'm quite concerned I'm dead inside, and that it's going to actually take a lot to scare me anymore. Like, there's something wrong with me. I'm okay with that.
I think that's kind of what we're saying, is, like, it's just not scary. I'll tell you what's scary, though. Video games. Video games have definitely, like, that's where things can get scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw my husband getting eaten by a T-Rex the other day. Like, this thing came out of nowhere.
Like real. No, like, what was that? Until Dawn, I think.
Yeah, that's a great game.
That one was pretty good.
Out of me. The new Resident Evil game where you don't have weapons.
Yeah, fuck that.
I mean, because that's really, like, putting you right in there.
I don't know. I was playing Minecraft last night, and I was doing something, and I ended up falling in the ocean. And did you know all the little zombies and pigmen live in the ocean? And they had built this city, and it was really weird. But that was more weird than scary.
Are you sure you weren't on LSD?
I have a question.
I love Minecraft.
What are you into that is into the, like, that was created in the 21st century?
I was gonna say, I've never liked Minecraft, though. Like, from the day it came out, I've hated Minecraft.
Her and her husband are big into the, like, those, like, creative games.
I even have you played 7 Days?
No.
I have. It's a good game.
Well, and see, I thought it would be fun to play, and it is, but all I do is build houses, and I go and find mine shafts just to survive, and I build on those. But it's more of like the building aspect than it is, killing zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which sucks, because, the fun is the zombie killing.
I guess you just dig a ditch and you set the bitch on fire.
Not quite how that works.
When talking about how I deal with this radio show, that often comes out.
You're not wrong.
So, there is some breaking news now that I've got to... I haven't vetted this, so I have no idea what it is.
Okay.
But it is breaking.
Give it to me.
The House Oversight Committee voted on Wednesday to hold Attorney General William Barr and Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross in contempt of Congress over a dispute related to the addition of a citizenship question to the 2020 census. The vote was 24-15. The vote came through just hours after President Donald Trump asserted executive privileges over the material related to the citizenship question, a move that further escalated tensions between House Democrats investigating the 2020 census and the administration. The Democratic-led committee voted on a contempt resolution that recommends that the House of Representatives find Barr and Ross in contempt of Congress for refusal to comply with the subpoenas. The contempt resolution includes citations for both civil and criminal contempt. Ross called the move an empty stunt in a statement said today. The Democrats maintain their shameless weekly attacks on this administration without consideration for truth. The Commerce Secretary said that the committee isn't interested in cooperation and demonstrated its scorn for the Constitution by holding the vote. This is a disappointing day for Congress and our country. America deserves better, Ross said. Jim Jordan, the top Republican on the committee, called the vote unwarranted in a statement, as well as a misuse of committee contempt authority. Um, let's see. House Oversight Chairman Elijah Cummings said in a statement that the contempt vote was the last thing I wanted to do, adding, I bent over backwards to try to work with the administration, but they delayed, disassembled, and degraded our committee's efforts to conduct this investigation and fulfill our responsibilities under the Constitution. It's unclear what will happen now that the committee has voted on the resolution, depending on how the Departments of Justice or Commerce respond. So essentially, I don't know if you guys know what this is related to, but there was a question on the census last year that was put in by the administration, and it was, are you a legal citizen? Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so what they found out is that question was inferred by a top-level Republican, a Republican lobbyist, I should say, donor, if you will, and he did very disgusting research into it to find out that this will cause many people of just Hispanic descent in general to not even fill out these censuses. Now, the reason why the census is really important is it does dictate where money's spent, how voting is set up as far as like polling, Congresses and representation in general. So their idea is, with this question and a few others, it's a way of manipulating the country, so to speak, to be a little bit more right than left wing. And this material was discovered on the gentleman who basically asked Trump to put the question in. Emails were discovered where he had talked about this plan a long time ago, that he had been setting this up since like 2012, 2014. One of his aides had actually gotten a hold of a giant publication, I want to say it's the New York Times, but I'm not sure, and released all this information saying, look, he'd been setting this up for a long time. He had gotten to Trump and had outside influence, and he is one of the donors. This is, obvious pure exploitation of power, and it is, without a doubt, the emails themselves conclude that they were doing this to stifle American voices and to stop a more liberal representation. So the House said, okay, we need to look into this. We need to do an investigation. And they asked the administration and all parties involved for materials. And apparently, according to this, it's hard to say which side's which, but Barr and like I said, I just read it as I'm doing this, so I don't know, but it looks as Barr and Ross have been holding material behind.
Wow. So, here's my question. When you fill out the census, is it anonymous?
Yes, it is. I believe. Honestly, I'm not sure.
So then, if it is anonymous, why does it matter if they're illegal or not?
Well, I do believe that you're still filling. I know that you're filling out your location as to your address and things like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, like, if there's nothing indicating specifically where you are, I don't know if it really matters if it asks if you're an American citizen or not.
Right. Yeah. No, it definitely goes by your address and things like that. Because I mean, the idea isn't you don't want, and honestly, like the only reason I knew so much of the backstory is because I've heard the story of when this was discovered about this guy, but I just really didn't think it was that big of a deal, to be honest.
Yeah.
Until Obviously, it looks like there's more to it. Um, but we don't want people who aren't citizens representing, citizens in America. So I get that.
Yeah.
But it does turn a lot of Hispanic people away from filling it out. And
Right.
part of it is it's the idea of a way to like put my right wing spin on it is we don't want to regulate guns, or we don't want to register our guns. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
oh, since they know this, then they're gonna know that, then they're gonna know that. Like, oh, well, they know where I live, and they're obviously worried about who's legal and who's not. Well, my cousin Jorge, he's not legal. I don't want them digging into my family. That was kind of the idea. Not to mention the other big spin of it that was cited in these emails, and I honestly can't remember his name. I wish I could, but of the guy who this was all his brainchild. It wasn't just a way to create fear amongst ethnic people. It was also a way to create fear amongst white people, because they believed that, oh, look, now this is a bigger issue. They have to put this on the census. See, there is illegals all over the place. So it's just more propaganda, and stating the fact that we add this question in a year where we're now actually at a negative as far as immigration. We've basically been at net zero for the last year. Now we actually have more people going to Mexico than leaving the southern border than entering the southern border.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been at a net zero for a while. Like, immigration has been going down since 2012. It really has not been a problem like they make it seem to be.
Right. I knew it was pretty much net zero. I didn't realize people were actually leaving.
Well, I mean, nobody wants to be here. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's hard to blame them in a lot of ways.
I agree. I mean, look where we're at in our country. We're at a place now where like coffee can give you cancer.
Well,
What?
Yeah.
And the Golden State Warriors might win another finals. I mean, like, look, I don't want to live in a country where it's just the Patriots and the Golden State Warriors all the time.
That's seriously what you're worried about, really.
It's fair, though. I get it. That's all I'm saying.
I want to go to Canada where I might be able to watch Menzel do some stuff.
Wow. No, I mean, it's an interesting concept and idea. I do, and I liked your story. Well, and I mean, you're right. It does like dig into that. Look at all the illegals. That's just stupid, though.
Right, and if I'm being honest on it, it was something I had read, I don't know, probably last week, and I didn't really think it was that important to bring up to our show. But yeah, I mean, apparently, like, where this could lead with Barr and Russ, now that's a much bigger story.
Yeah.
Because if that's obstructionist.
That really is.
And that's where that could turn into something. Like, look, I mean, everyone kind of forgets that Bill Clinton was impeached because of a real estate deal.
Yeah.
That was seemingly unimportant, but here it goes. So, and I do want to say, Tanya, it wasn't actually my story. It was just breaking news that I saw. Okay,
well, so do you want to go ahead or do you want me to go?
Yeah, sure. I got something that is also very troubling. For multiple reasons. One, do you guys remember?
Nope.
When we threw a big fit about Trump declaring a national emergency to build the wall?
Yes, because it wasn't really an emergency.
Correct. So, and when I say we, I guess I mean media in general and people in general. Unknowns to myself, the Trump administration declared a state of emergency last month and fast-tracked the sale of more American arms to Saudi Arabia.
Oh, shit. Are you serious?
They declared a state of emergency, and the reason being Saudi Arabia or being Iran. That's all they said. Iran.
How?
That's it.
Yeah, no, not Iran's attacking us because Iran wasn't. Um,
Yeah.
Iran is
Just
attacking
Iran.
Just
Israel.
Iran.
No, just Iran. That's
Wow.
the
So
reason he
can we
used.
like start submitting that we need funding for weed?
Yeah, I mean, it literally is the stupidest reason to say that we're in a state of emergency. But so and he's done this a few times. And they were really big on the immigration one, the wall thing, but they haven't been reporting a lot of these other ones, which I'm not going to get into. I am going to get into this one with Iran and the whole idea to fast track sales to Saudi Arabia. Um, it did more than anger members of Congress who opposed the sale on humanitarian grounds. People such as um, Bernie Sanders, Tulsi Gabbard, many progressive, Ro Khanna, they were all against the sale of more arms to Saudi Arabia. It also raised concern that the Saudis could gain access to technology that would let them produce their own version of American precision-guided bombs. Weapons they have
Wow.
used in strikes on civilians since they began fighting a war in Yemen 4 years ago. The emergency authorization allows Raytheon Company, a top American defense firm, to team with the Saudis to build high-tech bomb parts in Saudi Arabia. That provision, which has not previously reported, is part of a broad package of information the administration released this week to Congress. The move grants Raytheon and Saudis sweeping permission to begin assembling the control systems, guidance electronics, and circuit cards that are essential to the company's paveway smart bombs. The United States has closely guarded such technology for national security reasons.
Wow. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, no, and okay, so the new arrangement is part of a larger arms package previously blocked by Congress that includes 120,000 precision-guided bombs that Raytheon is prepared to ship to the coalition. This will add to the tens of thousands of bombs that Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates have already stockpiled. And in Congress, fear the surplus would let the countries continue fighting in Yemen long in the future. The move also includes support for Saudi Arabia F-15 warplanes, mortars, anti-tank missiles, and the old 50 cal sniper rifles.
Wow.
The emergency declaration invoked in part because of tensions with Iran prompted a broad bipartisan pushback from lawmakers who were concerned not only about the war, but also about whether Trump administration usurping congressional authority to approve arms sales. And yeah, without a doubt, I mean, I know we definitely talked about the arms deal being bogus and disgusting and why they're doing it. But I mean, for one, because when you think about American allies, real American allies, do you guys consider Saudi Arabia to be one of our allies?
Not at
Fuck
all.
no.
No, that's not a thing.
Yeah, I mean, they're up there on that list of, like, I would say North Korea and China, where, like,
Yeah.
like maybe we'll talk nice. Like, if we see Saudi Arabia at a party, we might be like, hey, how's things going? But we're not hanging
Yeah.
out with Saudi Arabia. We're not talking sports with Saudi Arabia.
No.
And we're definitely not like, hey, you want to go, like, smoke a J in the back? No, we're not tight with Saudi Arabia. So
No, not at all.
But maybe we should go smoke a J with them. I mean, is that so wrong?
no, because we're hanging out with Denmark doing that. You know,
Oh
we're going,
yeah.
us in Germany and Canada, we're all like, you know, shotgunning beers where no one can see us.
Yeah.
But we're giving them guided bombs
That is absolutely insane.
and the technology to make more. I mean, I
Okay,
think
but if
for
we're
me,
being
this is-
honest, remember when Obama ran out of bombs? So there's really not enough bombs for everybody. I mean, everybody should have bombs.
here's my thing. Like, I don't understand where we aren't seeing more outrage about this. It's only been 18 years since 15 of the 19 people who performed a terrorist attack in New York City from Saudi Arabia, since that occurred. And now we're giving them guided bombs that we've kept hidden from everyone else. Now, who's to say that in 10 years, these end up in the hands of some other terrorist regime?
How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, but we know why. It's the oil. What else would it be?
I'll tell you why I think part of it is because prior to Trump winning, everybody has talked about Russia owning Trump, right?
Russia.
Yeah.
We have been the only ones who've talked about, no, it's the UAE and Saudi Arabia that own Trump.
Right.
They promised him so much stuff after he's done being president. What are they getting out of it?
Blowjobs.
What?
Blowjobs.
Yeah.
Don't you want a blowjob from Trump? I mean, there is
like
nothing.
Many women way overvalue that.
Yeah, honestly. Like, that whole stereotype is like, oh, I'll just suck his dick later. No! Like, that doesn't work with me.
Yeah, no. I'm not going to mow the lawn. I don't care. You do it, fatty.
Oh, shit! I'm sorry. I guess I just thought blowjobs were the best.
No, you know what is the best, though? Millions and millions of dollars in real estate land that I'm sure Saudi Arabia has promised Trump.
Minor details.
They've even had quote-unquote business deals with Jared Kushner while he's been in office. No one cares.
Nope.
Whatever. You know, they said all this stuff about Obama being crooked.
But he was.
He's got nothing on Trump.
How dare you talk about the white man? He is a great man. He is the second coming of Jesus.
And let me remind you that we had, as our defense secretary, or Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, who I completely dislike as a human being.
Sure.
He lost his job because the UAE told Trump to fire him because he was trying to prevent a war. Because they were trying to... who were they trying to go in on, Cody? Do you remember? Or you guys remember?
It was Yemen, wasn't it?
Potentially. At the moment, it's slipping me. Qatar, yes.
Yeah.
Right, Qatar, yeah. And he was stopping that process. He was stopping them from attacking Qatar. And then the UAE says, "Hey, Trump, fire that guy." He does what he's told.
Trump's a good boy. See, you keep talking badly. He's a good guy. He does what he's told.
Well, that's true.
He's a great wife.
Better than most women.
Very, very valid point. But in what other, in what other administration would we see that kind of stuff? And
that doesn't mean it's bad.
I don't know.
Like, he's the wife I should be. You tell me to do it, and I will, because I want to be a good wife.
No, you don't.
Again. Yeah.
You wanna be like what Bernie Sanders would be.
I'd marry Bernie Sanders.
Well, yes, but I mean, as far as doing what you're told, it's not to do that.
I listen. No. I'm a good wife. I do what I'm told. My husband is the man of the house.
That's all I have to say to that.
It's the same at your house. You're the man. Your wives listen to you.
Oh, fuck.
Like, you snap and your wives jump and they're like, "Yes, master."
So
as it should be.
I love it when Cody's wife goes, "Yes, master. Whatever you want, I'll do it."
Me too. Not often enough, if you ask me.
Yeah. No, I mean, we all have that problem. But I have seen it at work at your house, and no. There's one person who wears the pants, and it's not your husband.
No, not at all. He's the real bitch.
Aww.
Gigantic.
I hope he's listening too.
No, he's not. He's outside. He's doing the bitch work, let's be honest.
Only always. Yeah.
So, you guys, last week, we need to talk about our poll. Do you remember we did a poll?
No, I don't. What poll?
Do you remember last week?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, we talked about how Alabama and certain states here in the U.S. are trying to make it to where they can chemically castrate inmates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we set up a poll on our Facebook page for Revolution Radio, and we had 69 responses, which I'm kind of impressed with. Yeah, we even had a couple of comments.
What'd they say?
If you're talking about pedophiles, yes. If you want us to castrate pedophiles, yes. Please castrate pedophiles. And only one nice comment that said, guys have needs.
That's my uncle.
But 70% of our fans agreed that we should chemically castrate inmates or just in general, because we didn't even specify. Just in general, should we castrate them?
We didn't.
And only about 30% said no. And
Really?
we didn't really...
Inmates?
Yeah, just inmates. For no reason at all. Our fans are like, fucking castrate them.
Fuck them.
Somebody just got busted with weed.
Yeah, seriously.
Although I have to say that's the fault of whoever posted up that poll for not being specific.
Well, and that's why we kept it that way, I think. But I am impressed with how many people... And we didn't really go in depth about it. Because I know, Cody, you said you were for castration. And Jay, you said you were not. Do you still feel that way?
Can I say
Yes.
quickly that Cody did throw in the caveat that with his teeth, though?
Yeah. I have to personally be there.
And, only on a certain color of gentleman.
Mexican.
He went straight Mexican. Go, Cody.
Yeah, I know. I threw him a little chorizo, and now he's like so in.
I gotta switch it up. I gotta get that gourmet shit every now and then.
But should we define actually what chemical castration is? A lot of people you'd be I don't know, hard pressed to find out that they don't actually know what that is. They think that like they're dipping your junk in acid or something.
Are you serious? I didn't even think of that.
So yeah, I just want to put it out there that chemical castration is a process in which you're given a drug that kills your libido, and you have to take this drug anywhere from once a week to 7 days a week. And once you're off that drug, your libido returns.
Now, okay, and let's specify the libido. Do you mean, like, when you say libido, are you talking about the fact that they can't get it up, or are you talking about all feelings and urges are gone?
Well...
Idea what libido is.
Yeah, I mean, I would say if you ever watched a woman give birth, and then you try to watch, pornography, you would understand how libido can just be gone.
Yep.
The sex drive of a male, months after he has a kid, and he's still thinking about it like it was D-Day.
Shit.
Yeah, that's... No, I mean, but yeah, it does prevent erections and urges, but only at a sexual level. I mean, because most of the time, as a male, and Cody, disagree with me if I'm wrong, but it's not your brain that gets you to, I don't know, pound town. It's the other part of you that's like, we doing this? I've been sitting here for 2 days and nothing's gone on.
Yeah, I agree with that. Wholeheartedly. um, yeah, and I think with people having that misconception about the chemical castration, I think a lot of them probably do think, like, holy shit, they're just dipping his balls in some caustic acid. Like, I don't know, that'd be
That's
kind of
kind of a
cool.
turn on.
But
I don't know.
Yeah, there's certain people that would definitely.
Like, I want to
that I would
dip
like
your
to see that
balls in
happen
shit.
too.
Right.
God, I want to dip your balls in something. Like, remember when we talked about touching your pee holes, and I was into that, but you guys weren't.
You mispronounced your mouth.
Still want to stick my finger in your pee hole.
Ew.
Anyway,
But also, okay,
Yeah.
so with this thing with Alabama, sorry, Cody, I just wanted to say that very few of the actual inmates who are charged of pedophilia of someone under the age of 13, most of them won't even ever face trial.
Really?
For probation, I should say. Let alone, I misspoke, not trial, but probation. So, with that being said, you have a very small amount of people this is actually going to affect. Not to mention,
that is
you
true
do have,
because they just passed that law. I mean, incest is not even considered against the law anymore, and it has to be a child, and mostly it's a female child under the age of 13. Like the male children aren't really restricted in there. Which is weird.
Not even just that, but most of the times, if you're a pedophile of anyone under the age of 13 in America, anyway, you are not granted parole, and that's what this is all about. Is when you let them, if you give them that parole, if they're doing 25 years, so to speak, let's just say, and then with good behavior, you can get out in 10 years. But usually, judges will not put that out there, and they'll say, nope, you're doing 25 years. Now, I'm being there's a lot of them, it's more like 10 years, 8 years, but they're doing that entire time. And once they get out, they did their time. So there's nothing, then, they're still on papers, but it's not the same as probation. And I might have even misspoke there and said parole instead of probation. But yeah, it's to let them out early for good behavior, that kind of thing. And yeah, very few of them are ever going to get that opportunity. Not to mention, you do have, psychologists from places like Oxford who said, look, like, they've done extensive studying into pedophile and pedophilia, and the part of the brain that makes these men act that way has nothing to do with the libido at all or sexual gratification in any manner.
Yeah. It's a feeling of power.
Right.
Cody knows
and
this feeling very
I'm
well.
Like, I don't see, like, I'm fine with it. I'm cool with it. I just don't know. Like, and when you start putting in things like that, like, what's the price tag going to be? Is it going to be worth it if it has really little to no effect? Like, I don't know, if I learned that a child molester moved next door to me and he was like, oh, don't worry, I'm on chemical castration, I'd still be worried about the guy. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, okay, well, good.
Yeah, babysit my kid.
Yeah, I don't think you're out of the woods with
Yeah,
this.
Cody, come on over.
Yeah.
No, I get that. But as I was gonna say, I think that if it was, a legit fantasy that we spoke of earlier, where you're just dipping it in, I think it'd probably be more welcomed. But I don't think people realize what it actually is.
Yeah.
Like, it's honestly kind of disappointing because, like, chemical castration, that just sounds metal as fuck. But really, you're just taking, like, an anti-testosterone pill.
No, chemical
like, how cool does that sound?
Chemical castration sounds like a Shadows Fall song. Like,
that should be your new band name.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. But yeah, I think on rapists, that might be a really good idea. But
no, they only get like 20 days in with time served. They're cool.
It depends who they're doing it to, too.
Like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't really see very many rapists getting jail time lately.
I mean, if it's somebody who...
Are you keeping up to date on all of them? Or?
Yeah.
She's looking for a new boyfriend.
Right?
I really am, not gonna lie.
I mean, if we're talking about somebody who is a good Christian white woman, who gets assaulted, then 100% for sure. If it's you, well, you probably had it coming.
Right?
Yeah.
I was talking to Cody.
That's mean. No, it's backwards, isn't it?
It is. It's crazy. Although I could see if there was a rapist out there raping white men, I bet he'd get, like, the chair or something. Like, he'd have to be put down, because that's not allowed. You can't rape a white man.
I can try.
It's like, what are you talking about? Cody's like 14 for 18.
Like, I'm not trying to give you goals here, Cody. God.
He's better than Tom Brady winning Super Bowls.
Shit.
But no, you do kind of like make a good point though. Like, part of you, wouldn't you be like, I don't know, if there was a serial rapist going after white males, like, wouldn't like, aside, like, you would be like, screw that guy, but then part of you'd be like, you know what, keep going.
No, absolutely.
Well, yeah. You just see, like, Cody, like, when he's about to take a shower, he goes to unlock his door. Leaves the doors open.
I bet they would cancel that,
standing there, like, bending over, like, oh no, I hope no one comes in here.
Do you think they would cancel that parade, though? Like the hetero parade? If there is a rapist of white men, I bet they would cancel that parade. And I bet the KKK wouldn't, like, do rallies for a while.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's the type of that would not be. I don't know. They're the type of group though that always assumes like they're the manly ones, you know.
That's the group Cody goes for.
You know they're all boning each other.
Cody went to a meeting last night. He knows.
Yeah.
Oh, when he was probably really good friends with Richard Spencer. Who? Have you ever seen that guy talk?
He's so hot.
Oh my god, that dude does nothing but fantasize about black schlong all day long.
Yeah.
Pretty. I like him.
You say he's pretty?
He is man
you like
pretty.
Him?
I do. I keep messaging him. I want to like do an interview and talk about how pretty he is.
You know he wants your entire race to be exterminated from the earth, right?
So do you think he'd date me? That's the question.
I mean, he'd Scott Peterson you for sure.
Do you think I should change like my picture when I send emails and put like some pretty little blonde thing? Do you think then he'd respond?
I know I would.
Honestly, I think a lot of guys would.
I might try that next time.
But not him. Because, well, if you mean pretty little blonde thing, and you meant, like, Cody, then yeah, probably. Yeah. But, yeah, I think if you put something with the wrong parts, so to speak, for him, yeah, Richard Spencer is all... And you know that, like, being, like, a white supremacist, that you know he's really after ethnic guys, you know?
Yeah.
I should put your picture.
Yeah.
You can't tell he's ethnic.
No, you really can't. No. I look like I should be out back chopping wood.
Seriously.
Then you get to meet me and you're like, oh, that guy should be having a heart attack in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
You too.
So, we all kind of got into discussion, and one of our listeners, Miguel, got in this discussion as well.
Oh.
We talked about the Steven Crowder, Carlos Maza situation.
Oh, when you called him an inappropriate name. Brought the whole show down.
Which I gotta be careful, because apparently, I don't know. Well, we're still good, but...
Yeah.
So until we get to YouTube.
Well, remember how Cody and I were on that verge of like, this is a very thin line. But for now, I'm on the Carlos Maza side, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right? I am now not on that side anymore because Carlos Maza will not shut his mouth about the whole thing.
Really? Do you think he's going to milk this for as much fame as he can get?
I don't know what he's doing. So what he did, his most recent update on this, is he said what YouTube did wasn't enough And that right there, that right there is really pisses me off, because I don't care if you do say the N word. I don't care if you, whatever. But if you apologize and you're like, look, I really am sorry. Maybe that was me 10 years ago, or I misspoke, or whatever. That should be enough. But it's that society. It's like that social justice warrior group that, they want to milk it for all it's worth, and they want to kill careers and blah 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 blah. And that's what he's doing. He said, and he's not wrong on this, but that's not his decision. He says, look, by demonetizing him, all it's going to do is cause more people to see that he's oppressed, and they're going to buy his merchandise, and they're going to sign up to his Patreon. Okay.
It's true.
Fair. Yeah, but you know what? That's fine. It's called the free market.
Yeah.
No one's pressuring them to do that.
Right.
Like, they like him. They're buying his stuff. He then went on to say, no, but the real problem is the platform itself. We should be doing something about YouTube.
Well, like getting rid of YouTube?
Right.
That's weird.
The way that he came out is a way that attacked, like, advertisers from using YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, which is, hey, that's great if you work at Vox and you're getting paid by a major media company. But if you do this stupid show,
yeah,
we don't have the right or the left backing us. It'd be good to get a little bit of ad revenue in every now and then.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But in everything else, like, you shouldn't have... Well, I mean, I think, and Tanya would probably agree with me that... and I only bring Tanya into this because of her advanced age, but...
Fuck you.
I think the future of entertainment in general is going to be YouTube.
Yeah.
People are going to have YouTube accounts, not Netflix, not Hulu, it'll be YouTube.
I mean, YouTube really is one of the only free video services out there that still is left. And you can always upgrade to what YouTube Red. But, I mean, YouTube really is the pioneer in a lot of this stuff. And I can't see anybody else coming up with a video streaming service. Because YouTube would take them down, let's be honest.
Well, and who's the one who's capped? I mean, the NBA Finals is on YouTube. They're sponsored by YouTube Live. UFC fights. There's a lot of stuff. They're dipping into that live market. And not to mention having children of that age, that, like, who's going to be our next generation. What do they watch? They watch Netflix or they watch YouTube?
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, my dad watches YouTube. Like, everybody watches. It's the way the market's going to go. Okay. And I don't know, this idea of, like, attacking them at their ad spots. For what? Because you feel, I don't know, pussy ass. Like,
I'll say this, it does seem very ballsy.
Well, he's backed. That's why. I mean, if he wasn't backed by a bunch of money, he wouldn't have the wherewithal to do that.
True.
I mean, because you're talking about, I mean, at least the way I see it right now, I mean, do you agree with his decision?
Do I agree?
Yeah.
Well, whose decision?
With Carlos Maza's?
I don't know. Not really. I think that's a tall task to want to take on.
Like, would you be like, yeah, I agree that they should just ban Steven Crowder and they should ban anybody who says anything that's offensive about homosexuals?
No, I don't. I think it's totally
because you're one of those people.
Exactly. I think it's totally YouTube's call to make. I think if they did, there would be some benefits and some downsides. But I think part of that freedom of speech comes with being able to say the stupid shit.
Right. Tanya?
That's... It's
Did
a
you just
tough
fall?
one. No, no, I put my phone down. Sorry. It's a tough one because I do support everybody's freedom of speech, and you have that right. But you're not protected from what you say. You have the right to say what you want, but you're not always protected from it. And I don't know. It's hard because sometimes we ourselves say inappropriate things, and YouTube does send us emails saying, "Hey, you can't talk about, Cody molesting people anymore." It's just weird.
But like, okay, as far as the Carlos Maza push to ban Crowder, do you agree?
I
Like,
really don't. Not with that issue, no. I mean,
so okay, that was going to be my point. Is you had 3 people, and we're just 3 random people who are very, very progressive, and we've switched on him because of this. How many other people have switched on him? The only reason why he's doing that is because of the money.
I think so. I agree. Yeah.
And I should say the money he already has and the money he's already backed by. I'm sure Vox is getting, for one, this might be a Trump move. Right now we're seeing Vox, many of their workers are striking because they're not getting paid well enough, because they're not getting benefits. But no one's talking about that when they address Vox. They're only talking about Carlos Maza. So who knows if this is one of the, kind of Philly specials that Trump pulls where no one's talking about the actual story.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably pretty far-fetched, but still at that, either way, I can't imagine why he would do this to this point where, it's completely irritated the 3 of us, or at least turned us. It's completely irritated me, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. From our last station and everything, there's no such thing as bad publicity. As long as your name's out there and doing shit.
I always say that.
Yeah.
So I agree, but to an extent, but do you actually think many people are going to listen to his podcast anymore?
Well, so that's what I was going to say, like, for us.
We get hate listeners.
Good publicity, but at this point, he's just shooting. At a certain point, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
And that's what I'm saying, like, and that's what he started doing. Because
right, I think he's at that point where he is shooting himself in the foot.
I mean, he helped Crowder's numbers for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I know I won't listen to him anymore. I don't want anything. If that's the way he wants to do it, that offends me, so I want it banned. Oh no, go to hell.
Right, I know. As soon as they say something to that effect, I'm out.
I'm fine with the demonetization because I get that. Like, for instance, if YouTube was like, "Hey, check it out, we're not gonna," like, not like they pay us now, but if they started to pay us and they were like, "Hey, we can't put ads in you. Coke doesn't want to do an ad read between you talking about Cody's uncle." Like, I would get it. I'd be like, "Yeah, you know what? You're right. I understand." But
I don't know. I mean, if they told us
different.
that, I would be like, so here's 20, because I'm going to talk about Uncle Cody. Let's take this 20 for the rest of the month. My bad.
Yeah. And I totally get that, though. And that's fair. And then that would be our decision. Do we change our content to get ads or not? But that's the thing, too, with what YouTube has done with Crowder. They didn't ban him. He's still on his channel. He's still doing. He's just not making the money. And they even told him, "Hey, look, you have a year, and you'll be up for evaluation." Actually, no, in 6 months. In 6 months you'll be up for evaluation. If you've changed your content, then you get ads again.
Yeah.
But I think that's a fantastic way YouTube's handled this. But it's gone as far as the chairman of the board of YouTube had to publicly apologize to the LGBTQ community for her decision on this.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. See, that's too much. Like, well, for starters, I don't think she should have to apologize for shit. It's her decision. She's free to make it.
Right.
But, I don't know. It is definitely this, the society that I hate about, everything is offensive. It's just, I don't know, it seems like they're more focused on ending careers because they don't want to look at themselves and be like, should I really be offended? Is it really offensive? It's
100%.
like they're unwilling to look at themselves before saying, "Hey, maybe I'm just a gigantic pussy."
Yeah, well,
What were you saying?
I said, well, he is a gigantic pussy.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the great things that was said by a fantastic comedian by the name of, unfortunately he's passed, but Don Rickles, when he got in trouble for what he had said. He said, look, there's two buttons on a radio. There's the off button, and there's the button to change a channel. I'm not stopping you from using any one of those buttons. And that's the whole idea. If Steven Crowder offends you, then don't listen.
Right.
If anyone offends you, you don't have to listen to it. Yeah, and look, I would get it too if Steven Crowder or our show or any of these shows were saying, hey, you know what? If you see a person of ethnicity, if you see a person who's gay, you should attack them.
Yeah.
That's completely different. Yeah, then they should be off. But, I think you get into one of the, and I forgot his name, but he's also an independent worker. He documents a lot of the far right and white and the white supremacists marches. His channel got taken down.
Yeah.
And
really?
Yeah.
It was great, fantastic video that he provided and documentation. But YouTube took it down for hate speech.
Wow.
And one of the things that a lot of people don't know about that guy is, do you know that he's the reason why the killer of Heather Heyer, the protest that happened in North Carolina?
Yeah.
Virginia?
Really?
Yeah, but his video footage is the thing that was seen all around the world, and then that's a thing that the judge saw, and how the killer was actually convicted of doing that crime.
No kidding.
Yeah, so to argue that this guy's doing hate speech is preposterous.
Right.
He's doing journalism. I don't know.
That sounds familiar, though, doesn't it?
Right?
Journalism. Yeah.
On that note, though, of journalism, so I do have a really interesting story.
What's that?
About, and I think Ben Norton had said it right, that we are just pawns of the Kremlin, our show. And so to give more of our love for Mother Russia,
Woo!
in the follow abroad, Putin is perceived as the master orchestrator of all Russia's actions.
Yes.
But his hold on the state security service is more limited. In the days following the arrest of Ivan Goslov, an investigative journalist detained on drug charges, dozens of reports and public figures began lining up quietly to take part in a particular Russian form of protest called the single picket, which is actually kind of cool. A little backstory on Ivan Golinov. He was an independent journalist who would speak truth to power, and he would often talk ill of the oligarchs and Putin and Russia in general. He was traveling, I believe, out of Russia when he was detained for drugs and the conspiracy to traffic drugs as well. He was then arrested and kept, in a hold for many days. The idea, and so what a lot of people don't know too, is that protesting without a permit in Russia is illegal. So they have this thing called the single picket, which is where they form a giant line. And in this case, they did form about, I would say, a 4 to 5 block line. And then one single person would stand in front of the courthouse and picket for 15 minutes. And then they would leave. and
I
then another
want this
person would come in and take their place. Anyway, many people got involved in this protest because they didn't believe that this journalist had the drugs. They believed it was planted on him, and there was also a thought of there was a lack of evidence. So what happened? It got to a boiling point, where the major courts in Russia were informed on the situation, and one of the people under Putin was actually demanded to bring out evidence against this journalist or let him go. At the end of the day, they had no evidence. Under Putin's command, they released this journalist.
Really?
And Putin and his administration actually turned on the people who detained him as being, anti-justice. And there's talks about pressing charges against the men who detained this journalist.
Really?
Yeah.
I kind of want to comment like that.
Right? For all the bad stuff we've heard about Russia and what they do to journalists, real watershed moment, if you will.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, well...
Yeah, made me feel better at the end. I'm like,
It does. I appreciate that. And I don't really normally say I appreciate anything about Putin, so go Putin.
Yeah, that's bad when you've got Putin saying, like, man, you guys are really, like, unjust.
I'm slowly becoming more of a fan.
You know why Trump likes him so much now.
Hard not to be.
Well, I don't think Trump does like him, is my whole thing, but...
Who knows?
I know I do.
So, on Tuesday, it was announced, I don't know if you guys have heard of this, and it's not a huge story, but it is making its rounds on the opinion polls, and it's on our opinion poll for this week. I
just voted, by the way.
Did you? A police chief has given a man a ticket for $575 for tossing his lit cigarette butt out a window. And for those people who don't know, that can cause forest fires. It can actually, your cigarette butt can fly into another passing vehicle's window. It can cause burns.
Okay, I think that's maybe a little extreme.
Oh,
like,
no.
it really is like Jordaning it.
Yeah,
no, and
the
here's
forest fire and the fires. I understand that completely, but never once have I been in a situation where I'm like, wow, I hope that guy doesn't flick his butt into my window. Like,
well, and
Jesus.
that's why it's making its rounds on the opinion polls. Apparently, that's happened more than what people are admitting, that they will find burn marks in their vehicles from random cigarette butts when they don't smoke. And some of the police forces are coming forward saying there was a vehicle fire because somebody threw a cigarette butt. And it does happen.
I think it's more so to drop the crack spoon.
Well,
that's what I think it is.
I mean, it's hard to tell, but it is making its rounds, and it's about 50-50. Some people say, well, yes, you should ticket them. It is dangerous. It can cause fires. People can get hurt. And on the other side, a bunch of people are saying it's an accident. We don't mean to do it. Technically, it's our cigarettes. You can't do anything about it. So I did post it on our opinion poll. I was just curious. What do you guys think?
I say yes. Not because of, like, going in windows. I'm not worried about that. Like, I think that is way too much of an exaggeration, but I agree with, like, the fire aspect.
Yeah,
I mean, just... Okay. Like last year, I was coming home, or I guess maybe it was a couple years now, but I was coming home from when I worked construction, and we heard on the radio that they were talking about this guy flicked a cigar out the window, and it started a fire in a field. Like it's definitely possible.
I agree with Cody in that regard. Like, I don't think that anyone can Mark Wahlberg it and Shooter and make this amazing shot.
Yeah.
But I do think that, for one, it's littering.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, just because you smoke, I don't want your nasty cigarette butts all over, like, my curb and shit. Not
Right.
or your yard or whatever. But yeah, and then the fire thing. Like, at what other point would we have this conversation where it's like, hey, is it cool if I light something on fire and throw it out the window? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what else it would be. We'd be like, no, that's not cool.
Like, imagine if I just started lighting T-shirts on fire and I threw them out windows. People would be like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Like, of course that's illegal. You shouldn't do that. Yeah.
Right.
So I don't see why this should be any different at all.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's
yeah.
I mean,
gross.
like, no one means to start a fire, but I don't know. Here's my thing: is if you don't mind smoking in your vehicle, why do you want to throw the cigarette butt out?
Right?
Why can't you keep it in the car with you? Why do you have to throw it out?
Yeah, I also disagree with you though a little bit there, Cody.
Really? Why?
Your whole comment there, I don't think anybody means to start, forced fire, so to
Only
speak.
you can start a fire.
I'm pretty sure Smokey has a lot to do with. Because think about it, if Smokey didn't start these fires, he wouldn't have a job.
You're gonna
I
blame
don't
a bear.
ever talk again.
Just saying, what they're not telling us is it's the globalist and Smokey the Bear.
Oh my
I
god.
can see it. I'm not ruling it out. That's all I'm saying.
Right? Hey, I was right about the whole Weatherman thing.
You were.
Yeah. Fair point.
Well, yeah, so this ticket, and it did happen in Canada, is for 575 Canadian dollars, which is the equivalent about 433 American dollars. Do you guys feel like that's a fair price?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so do I.
It's kind of one of those things that, like, okay, yes, I understand it's just a cigarette, but what if it had started a fire? What if you started a fire in, like, a wheat field? That's going to go up like crazy, and that farmer just lost a ton of money. So, yeah, I mean, I do agree with it. It's one of those things where, like, that's why tickets are so expensive. You know, they kind of scare you into just doing it, because, you either buckle up or you get, like, an outrageously expensive ticket. No one wants that.
Yeah.
And, like, at what point do we, like, if it's legal, by the way, to throw a lit cigarette out a window, like, at what point does it have to start to be regulated? Meaning, you can see Cody, smoking a Black and Mild, driving to work, sees a 10-year-old on a bike, and is like, hey, watch this trick shot. I mean...
I'm not saying I haven't done it.
Oh my god.
You know it would happen, and you know it has happened.
Yeah. And it probably will again.
It probably will. Except for next time it'll be like just a filled Gatorade bottle. Hey, watch this.
That is horrible.
I put a pipe in his spokes, so when it goes by, flies him off.
You guys want something that's Instagram worthy?
There you go.
I'm gonna permanently disable this 10-year-old.
You guys are horrible.
Happened to me.
That almost killed a kid, and you guys are just laughing.
Who almost killed a kid?
You didn't hear about that story?
What?
No.
In California, 2 kids were on their way to the breakfast summer program. It was a 10-year-old and her 5-year-old sister, and somebody threw a water bottle at them, and it hit the 5-year-old in the head, and the kid is in a coma.
Jesus.
What? Who are they? Are they an MLB pitcher?
Yeah, I was gonna say, was Peyton Manning arrested quickly after?
Seriously.
Who's flinging that thing?
Well, and that's what they're saying is it was going the speed of the car. So even if the car was only going 30 miles per hour, this water bottle hit this kid, at 30 miles per hour.
That's
No,
really
it's not.
Well,
look, if
yeah.
you're driving down the road and you're going down the interstate and you fling a quarter up, it's not going the speed of the car.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
No, because in fact, it's actually, as soon as it goes outside of the car, it's actually fighting the resistance of that speed.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what it was in the police report, and they found, and it was...
Well, it's cops, too. They're kind of stupid.
Well, and according to the investigation, because they said that they're having it nailed down, or they're trying to figure out who did it, these people were throwing full water bottles at children. So, I mean, it could have been fucking Cody for all we know.
Cody and
Right?
Group of...
I know that shouldn't be funny, but it really kind of is.
Cody and his white boys going around and beating little Mexicans.
Did they check the starting pitchers from the Los Angeles Dodgers? Because, that's just, I don't know. I saw this whole thing on physics, and like how if you fling something at a car, you're actually fighting against that current. So you'd have to have a strong arm. I mean, now granted, if it hit the right way, like if you pegged them at the side, then you could be, or if you did like a trick shot where you threw it in front of you, but you use that resistance to actually fling it back. Now that would be
really cool, though.
Cody's like all into this.
I mean, that's work, I guess, is what I'm saying. But
oh my god! So we just posted this, and we have 12 votes, and 11 of them at 92% are saying yes, this is dangerous, don't do it. One person, no, it's a tiny little butt, they'll be fine.
I'm now in favor of that person.
I know, me too.
Wow. So yeah, make sure you guys vote, because that's going to be interesting. People. Okay.
Oh, well.
I love our fans.
By the way, speaking of strong pitchers, did you hear that David Ortiz got shot?
Yes.
Yeah, did you hear why?
No.
Supposedly. Because he was having a little, love fling with a mafia's woman.
Damn. Oh, shit.
Dude
just, came up and said on him. Yeah. Yeah, I guess have you seen the video?
Mm-mm.
It's kind of hard to tell what's going on, but the guy basically just, shoots him in the back at a restaurant.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Serious, look it up. It's really kind of hard to tell. It took me a couple tries to see what was going on.
He could have just been over-exaggerating and just fell dramatically.
No, definitely not.
Big Poppy definitely has a giant set on him. There's no way I'd mess with a mafia woman.
I don't know, man. Tell it to him.
Yeah, no.
Do they show a picture of her? Is she super hot?
I don't know. I haven't seen. I mean, I'm assuming so. It's David Ortiz.
Cody, your wife just left our phone call. Why is she like
David
this?
Ortiz is no, I don't know.
What?
He's a great... I mean, I don't know. He's not attractive.
He's a pretty good-looking guy, dude.
What?
David Ortiz? Hell yeah. Dude, I boned the hell out of him.
I want that to be my ringtone.
I'm just saying.
I love you, Cody.
Thanks. No, really, though. You should look up a picture of him. He's actually a pretty good-looking dude.
I don't know if I would say that.
Why isn't he your type? He's attractive. I mean, you're into big, beefy guys. I'm surprised you don't like him, Jay.
That makes him more attractive than any of us, because he has a ton of money.
Okay, so that, sure. Without a doubt, yes. The fact that he has a ton of money, that would definitely do it. Hey, did you guys see this? That Shep Smith is trending.
No.
Why is he trending?
Well, he's trending because in Shep Smith's fashion, he told viewers on Fox News that the Mueller report did not exonerate President Trump, and he encouraged everyone to actually read the document instead of take the word of mouth that they've been hearing on his network.
Are you serious? He's got some big cojones too.
Yeah, I figure if we're talking about guys with giant sets on them.
Yeah.
I mean, he's basically asking to be fired. You know, he probably goes to there like just hoping every day he's fired.
I know, he's like, what can I say today?
Can you please just send me to MSNBC? People like, part of their hatred towards him is that they know that, so they just keep him.
Yeah.
Hey, check it out, Shep. We set you up next to Brian Kilmeade today. And there's Kilmeade just yelling about MS-13 in his neighborhood.
Don't you have the MS-13 next door?
Right? Yeah.
13.
The MS-13. I thought that was interesting though. Like, aside from the fact that that's for some reason trending, I mean, is it that big of a deal? But I guess so.
Apparently, if you're a white Republican man, it is. How dare he? They turn into Shep Smith to learn things. They'd be spreading lies about their president.
Also, in breaking news.
Woohoo! Break it to me.
Some of us will be excited about this news. According to Variety magazine, Sony announced that the series, known as The Boondocks, are going to be coming back.
So
yeah,
basically,
dude, I saw that. I'm so
Cody.
Yeah, I know.
No, is it not like exciting, or is that just me?
No, I was totally psyched.
Okay, cool, because I'm stoked, dude.
I'm curious if it'll be the same.
I wouldn't think so. Hasn't it been long enough that they'd have to change something up? Do you know what I mean?
Keep it exactly the same. Nothing changes. I'm fine with that.
I'm with Cody completely, but like, I mean, like we were talking about Tropic Thunder on our
Tropic
Thunder.
We were.
And one of the reasons I love Tropic Thunder so much is it's one of those movies that they couldn't make now, and it hasn't been that long ago, but it's been long enough.
Can you imagine
because Robert Downey Jr. being black?
Avengers back to blackface.
Right.
I support it.
I mean,
not everyone does.
The whole fact that like the black rapper guy like was gay, and that was like a big, you know, like now it'd be like, oh, would you like a back rub or a hug to help you through this? Like, but no, they're like talking shit. Like, yeah, that movie wouldn't exist now.
No, it wouldn't.
Just
a good movie.
Jack Black and his whole thing about the fatties. That would not happen. It's not cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm wondering, like, will it still be the same?
I don't know. I think so.
You think it's kind of covered under the fact that it normally just made fun of... Well, I mean, it made fun of ghetto black people.
Yeah, it did.
And made fun of white people a lot.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, like... And I'm not saying this because I'm offended. I'm saying it in a sense that, like, that's kind of fucked up. Because if I were to make one about, you know, white people and black people, the black part would get me in trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I agree. I do. I understand what you're saying. I do wonder how much of it would... Like, if you were to make a show called The Next or something, and it was just about, like, a racist white family, would you really get in trouble? Like, oftentimes, animated characters can say stuff that people can't.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they just see the animation. They don't think about the fact that a real person's behind them, which, I mean, I get. You know, when I'm stomping out pussies on Xbox Live, I get it. I don't think about the 10-year-old's dreams that I'm destroying. I just see some guy and I just ruin him. But I get it, though.
Ew.
No, but really, like, I don't think they. I think since it is animated and it's not a real person, it doesn't quite trigger the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, one of those shows that I would think would have been pulled off would have been Loudmouth. I mean,
Yeah, that's one. I was gonna say, think about this: if Aqua Teen Hunger Force or Squidbillies was real people,
I was definitely, yeah, Squidbillies definitely came to mind.
that's blatant hillbilly. Like, I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love it, and I wouldn't care if it was non-animated. But if it was, some people would probably be like, "Okay, is this maybe a little too much? Like, we're just railing on the hillbillies here."
But no, yeah, I agree. And even I think, like, to an extent, South Park or Family Guy has gotten away with more than, like a Big Bang Theory or something could get away with.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited about it. It'll be cool.
Will be.
So how many people are going to pre-order the Final Fantasy VII Remake, which has finally got a release date?
Oh my god. You? Just you.
So here's what people don't know. I've been waiting for this game since before my child was born.
Wow.
That's how long they've been talking about it.
You have been talking about it for months. I know that you are super excited for it.
Well, I mean, I'm not like, I don't know. Square kind of did that thing with me. You know, when like, and Cody, I'm more talking to you on this, but you know, like when you're promised some sort of affection, so to speak, and then, oh, I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood.
Oh, yes.
But then at some point you're like, I'm over that. I don't even want it anymore. Like,
no, I get it. Yeah, but now that they are coming out with it, do you kind of feel like you're in the mood again?
Kind of, but all I've been told is, hey, if you pay me this much money, I'll do this for you. I haven't seen it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still tentative. I'm like, all right, well, you know what? You got me interested.
Yeah.
But until I see the physical copy, I'm not excited.
About Tool. Honestly, that's how I feel about Tool releasing an album.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, God, I don't know how many fucking times I've heard, oh, Tool's in studio. Okay. Well, I'll believe it when I see it. How about that?
The Rick and Morty thing. Rick and Morty kind of killed themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By doing that, like, oh yeah, the next season's coming out sometime. And then it's like 6 months later. But yeah, imagine that though, being, hey, Final Fantasy is 7 is going to make a remake and it's coming out in a couple years. They're like, oh, cool, that's awesome. Then, no joke, 7 years later, and you get all these, like, every year, so you'll hear some sort of update. Oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. And you're like, after a while, you're like, I don't care. But 7 years later, you hear, it's going to be released next year. Is it, though? But, you know, like, just because you put a date on it doesn't mean I'm biting again.
You've heard too many times.
I've been through it too many times.
I'm sorry.
But no, that is just part of, like, the mini E3 announcements. Is there anything that was announced at E3 or anything that you're excited about, like Cyberpunk or
Keanu Reeves? Hell yeah!
What was that? You kind of broke up. I apologize.
Oh, Keanu Reeves. Of course, I'm excited.
Yes, yeah.
So pumped.
No, the game looks great. Honestly.
It does look really good.
And that's one of those games that does teeter on the. It's been a couple of years now. They keep talking about it.
Man, there is another game I remember seeing that I'm like, oh hell yeah, but I can't remember what it is.
Pokemon Sword.
No, I'm done with Pokemon.
Well, I mean, everyone knows. I mean, we've actually even seen hands-on and closed beta of it, but I know you're a fan. Borderlands 3.
I knew about that, but it wasn't that. I can't remember what it is.
And there's one called Eden, which was actually, I think it's going to be a great game. It was the developers of Dark Souls working with the makers of Final Fantasy.
Really?
And George R. R. Martin, by the way.
Yeah, that's right.
And yeah, that game, I don't know. It depends how they do it. I've read a lot where like the developers and stuff are like, it's still going to be hard like other games. And I'm like, no. I've never
want another Dark Souls.
What?
I don't want another Dark Souls.
Yeah, I know. Like, I haven't got past the first 20 minutes of Dark Souls.
Yeah, I don't know. See, but with George R. R. Martin, I'm excited.
Right, and if it's got a great story, like he can write, then I'm totally in. But not if I die in the first 15 minutes and I can't get any further.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, no, there was definitely a lot that was announced at E3. If anybody is a big fan of any of that stuff, let us know. I'm not. I mean, I just buy new games when they come out. Like, I'm a gluttonous douche when it comes to gaming, but
Yes, you are.
you know, you got the money.
Wow. Did you buy your kid a new
Anybody got
game?
anything else?
Did you
No,
buy
I
your
don't think
kid a
so.
new game?
Tanya?
Did you buy your kid a game?
Tanya?
Did
Still
you buy
there?
your kid a new game the other day? Sorry.
What?
The other day, did you buy your kid a game at Walmart?
I just heard game at Walmart.
That's all I heard too.
Did you buy him a new game?
No.
Why?
I don't know.
You're mean.
Why?
I
My kid's
accidentally
waiting
pushed the
for
mute
Mario
button.
Maker 2.
Is he
They're
really?
making him wait. Yeah.
I support that. So,
Anyway, you got anything else for us?
I do. What is your opinion? Yep. So it was announced on Tuesday evening that Kylie Jenner threw a birthday party for her friend. Did you guys hear about the birthday party?
No, nor do I care.
Well,
I don't know. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a lot for me to care about. So, no, I didn't.
Unless somebody died.
Well, they kind of did die. And the reason it's such a big deal was that Kylie threw this birthday party for one of her new best friends. It was themed of The Handmaid's Tale. All the guests dressed in red robes. They had, what are they, commanders? All the drinks.
So tired of it.
Yeah. And a lot of people are saying that that is the most tackiest thing ever. Do you guys agree?
I don't know about tacky. I mean, it's played out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I would say tacky, unoriginal.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, if you were gonna say Kylie Jenner threw a birthday party and they decided to go, they decided to get pinatas, but instead of pinatas, they used children from the border. Like,
Well, that's
I would have
original.
been like, at least that was original.
Yeah. I should have showed up, but
I mean, nothing, in my opinion anymore, nothing says basic bitch like The Handmaid's Tale.
God, I know.
Oh my god, I love you guys. No, I don't have anything else. On Friday, we do have a story to go over about a man who his body was returned to his family. He had been in jail, and when the body was returned, it was missing his heart, his throat, and his brain. So that is something to look forward to. Yeah, they removed his throat, like the whole throat. It's interesting.
Like the esophagus, the trachea, the larynx.
Yeah, they removed the
Just the whole
throat.
shebang.
Yes,
I think
along
that's
with
the
his
brain.
brain and his heart. And I'm trying to think, I think also one of his legs. It's an interesting story, and I can't wait to get into it with you guys.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Because, like, I mean, I could see that if Dick Cheney wanted to keep a heart on ice, because he knows he's going to need one. But, the brain, the leg, I don't know. I mean, I guess there might be some pirates out there that...
Right.
But, yeah, I don't know why you would remove some of that stuff. No, that'll be interesting. We have a comic calling in, right?
We should have a comic calling in. And sadly, I forgot his name. Yeah,
it's alright. He won't call in.
Yeah, if he's been doing anything like all the last ones have lately.
Yeah. Ben Creed is his name, actually. So yeah, we'll see. Cody, how do we contact you?
Huh? How do we what?
How would people get a hold of you?
That out. How do we what?
What is your information? Jesus Christ. Jay, give us your information.
No one could hear it over the music. It's way too loud. It also continues to skip. On Facebook.
My information is Cody Vogus on Facebook, Magnus Apex on Twitter.
What is your Grindr account?
What's your email?
My email?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't have an email?
I do. Oh, why? I'm not gonna give out my email on here.
What's your address? And where are you between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. on Sundays?
Oh, yeah. Anyway, what's your information?
Anyway, just check us out, Revolution Radio on Facebook. I think we have a Twitter. I don't know. Instagram, all that good stuff. Follow, like, definitely on YouTube. The channel needs help. Revolution Radio channel, like it, share it, do all that good stuff. If you, I don't know, Twitter is just JC Show VIP. It's like JC and then Show VIP. I'm not worried about Facebook because I've got too many people. So I won't follow you. I won't friend you or anything. Instagram, J Dillon 4250, I think. I don't know.
4250.
But really, just do the whole thing with the YouTube page. And I think we're working to get on Anchor as well.
Yes.
Another podcast service. So definitely be checking in with stuff like that. And definitely on the Facebook page. That's where it's most important.
What is your Grindr account for people who are interested?
Only Young Hung Black.
Wow.
Nice.
Right.
Okay, and yeah, just I think Facebook, YouTube, and our email, revolutionradio316, is the best way to get a hold of us. And we will be back on Friday, live on Facebook, with a guest, hopefully. We'll see.
Alright.
People don't like us.
Please turn that song off.